What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the Physique Factory Podcast. And today we're going to talk about dieting, people giving up, how long people are dieting for, and why it's important to see it out. It depends on what your goals are at the end of the day, doesn't it? So how much you want it, why you're doing it, and so on. So what have you found with clients in the past that you work with in starting in January, especially the type of client as well?
Yeah. Sometimes January can be a bit of a hit or a miss sort of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, I've had loads of clients that have started in January and they've gone on to absolutely smash it. But you do get those people with the January mindset sort of thing, and there's nothing wrong with that kind of mindset. But I think we're getting to the stage, like maybe not right now today when we're recording this, but by the time I put this out and by the time we actually post this up, you'll be getting to the stage where folk are starting to give up and starting to drop off a little bit. Not even from just coaching, just people who are doing it by themselves. And I think the number one reason, in my experience, having like just speaking to people and clients and things like that, it's got to be the expectations of results. It's like they're just not seeing it happening quick enough. Would you agree with that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if they're not seeing the changes, then that's the motivation to carry it on, isn't it? So if they're not seeing that, they're just going to think, fuck it, I can't be asked. But it depends, like, what they're actually doing, how much work are they putting in? It's like, they don't know what they're doing with the food, the nutrition, the training. If it's inconsistent from the beginning, then there's no way. They might be think they're doing something like correctly, but if they're not being precise with the foods, if they're not like weighing the amounts, I'm not saying like, yeah, you have to weigh your food like all the time or anything like that, but if you're not sure with what you're actually eating, your intake, and you're actually eating a surplus or like maintenance, then you're definitely not going to drop any weight. So from the beginning, you need to know what you are doing, especially in terms of like weight loss, and then how much you're moving, what your output is, etc. So I mean, you need to get that like nailed from the beginning, and then you should see like some progress. But then people just think, oh, well, maybe if I have like the odd off-plan meal there or the odd cheat there, and it all adds up, and they're having like about 7 or 8 things off plan each week, and they're only like tiny things, saying, oh, I've had this little snack, or I'll have this like cake with a coffee, it won't matter. And then at the end of the week, they're not dropped anyway. I think, fucking, I was like, I can't be arsed this dieting business, and then they go back to eating shit.
There's something actually. You were asking obviously before we came on how Elevate's going, the kind of group program that I launched, and there's been a lot of people in that like, oh, my weight hasn't dropped yet. And I've made a point this week. So we do like a group call on it every week, and on this week's group call, that's what we're talking about. We're talking about scale weight. We're talking about scales. So, it doesn't necessarily. I suppose this whole thing of like someone starting a diet and they're starting with all that like motivation at the beginning of the year. And the reason that they go from being this motivated person to then all of a sudden dropping off is it starts from the expectations. It starts from, some people are expecting to put in minimal effort and get maximum results. Or even if you put in maximum effort, you're not going to see appreciable results for, I would say, at least 12 weeks. You can see it in less time than that, but on a it depends how harsh you are. Obviously, there's a lot of like things that go into it, but you know, if you're going at a normal kind of pace, I'd say 12 weeks bare minimum. But people then expect to see these expectations. They expect to see something happen quick, and then it just takes something like, oh well, I don't see any difference in the mirror. I don't see anything changing on the scales, and then it's like something like that, like cake with a coffee sort of thing, for example, something stupid like that, pints with a lad sort of thing, whatever it is, just takes that and you're like, oh, fuck it, I'm not making any progress anyway. And then that's just starts a snowball effect of negative things. Because like obviously going out for a few pints or, having a cake or whatever, it's not going to completely ruin any progress that you've made. But it's just the snowball effect. It's like the knock-on effect of fuck it, right in the fuck it mode. Like fuck it, I'm not getting anywhere anyway. So what's the point? So I would say like it is that kind of almost like knock-on effect more than anything, isn't it?
And then yeah, then it can come back to say if they're working with a coach and say because they've not been like consistent or stuck to the plan since the beginning or set those expectations or whatever. And then they've got to a certain point thinking, oh, that coach hasn't really done anything for me. I didn't really rate the process, but they've not done like one thing. They've not communicated with the coach. They've not stuck to the plan that's been set out. They've not said they've been any issues with the plan or they wanted to chop and change things. They've not said anything. They've just carried on fucking just doing shit and then checking in each week, giving literally no feedback or information how the week's gone. And then that's what type of Well, I don't know. That's what mainly half the clients in January that you pick up. That's what it's like, and they just expect just because they're paying someone, they're going to get results, but they don't understand that they actually need to put some work in themselves to do it. And it's like I said, coming back to that communication thing, where people, I don't have a clue. Like some clients who I've worked with in the past, they've not messaged me back. I've messaged them, so if they've not checked in, I message them. Then others have been issues. I've been following up with them, each day or whatever, sending them messages, and was like, "What's going on with this guy? He's not even like messaging me back. I have no idea." And then obviously the lead said, "Oh, this coaching, it's not really for me." I was like, "Fucking hell! Well, you've been an absolute terrible client. You put zero work in, then obviously it's not going to be for you. You need to put some work in. Like, talk to me. What can we work on?"
Yeah, that's it. Like, I think some people aren't willing to put in the work, as I suppose is the long and short of it. But then, like you say, it's expectations from both sides. As a coach, you kind of need to explain. Like, I try and be clear from the start, like in terms of, because you can't really say, "Look, James, you want to get shredded. I think it'll take you this long," but you kind of can too. You know what I mean? Like, so
you know how long it's going to take someone, don't you? If you set out a plan thinking, right, if we do everything like immaculately, then we're gonna like achieve this result by this time or whatever. But it's obviously most people you work with, especially in the general population, it won't be like precise or immaculate. So you're planning an extra couple of weeks, like a month or so, to make sure that you're accounting for that and you're gonna like achieve that result by that certain amount of time.
Yeah.
But it's that fucking consistency thing with some people.
I just set up a client this morning actually, and it was quite a nice wee scenario because like now that I'm running the gym, she was in the gym at the time, and I was like, "This is convenient. I'm doing your setup right now." So like rather than doing like an onboarding video or whatever, I actually just talked to her, and then I could ask her questions while she was there. It's quite cool. But like that's what I've done for her. So in terms of the timeline, I'm like, right, this is where you want to get to. She said she wanted to get as shredded as possible, and I was like, I don't know exactly how long this will take you because I have no idea what's going to come up, how well you'll stick to the plan and things like that. But here's kind of almost a worst case scenario. Like, obviously, you're not going to be stupid about it, but like, if things went slowly, here's probably how long it would take, so that you're actually, under promising and then hopefully over delivering. But it's an awkward thing coaching because, like you say, like some people will like badmouth coaches, and I've had it a lot in the past where I'll do consultation calls with people and they're like, "Oh, I was with so and so, but he was rubbish in that, and then so was so and so, and so was so and so," and I'm like, There's a
It's a red
fee.
flag.
Yeah,
That's a red flag in itself.
but as you say, like you're relying on them to do the work, and it's like I don't know if there's many other things where like many other kind of services like this where you're really relying on someone else to put in the work. It's one of those things where you as the client will get in what you put out. Sorry, get out what you put in. I can't even say that right, but you put in 100%, you'll get more, you'll get a better return, to be honest. And it'll pay dividends. So, but yeah, like even people that are dieting themselves, like without a coach, it's the same thing, not seeing the results. But sometimes people just aren't measuring the results. You know what I mean? So like if you're only looking at weigh-ins, for example, well, that only tells you a little bit of the story. If you're only doing measurements, it only tells you a bit of the story. You're only doing pictures, you're only doing a bit of the story. You kind of need to do everything, don't you?
Yeah, weight's not everything. I mean, like, to be fair, there's some people who only track the weight like once a week. I said, right, you need to track this like 2-3 times a week just to see that moving average, because weight can like differ from day to day based on loads of things. And that's why you use an app called Happy Scale. I don't know if you used it. I use it with Josh as well.
No,
That's where I got
actually no. Happy Scale.
It's got a Happy Scale. Yeah, it's on an iPhone. So I don't have you got an iPhone?
Yeah, I have now. I've
Well,
transferred.
no.
I regret it. They're fucking shit.
Not the min. Once you get used to them, they're good. But yeah, that app it has like the moving average. So I was using it every day throughout prep.
Happy
And you can
Scale.
see that. Yeah, you can see that moving average. So that was the main. Well, that was the most important number that was going off with the weight. And I've got my clients doing that now. I've
Can
got
you
an
not do that
iPhone.
in our sheets?
Roughly, it gives you a weekly average, but the moving average it changes a lot.
Right, okay. Yeah, that's something I'm going to have to look at.
Plus, it's easy for the client to put in.
I've not actually weighed myself in ages, you know that? Like, this is a shit excuse, but since, like, not even opening the gym, probably since the beginning of December, I just stopped weighing myself. I stopped, like, I was tracking calories roughly as well, but now I just eat and fucking train. I'm roughly the same body composition, but, like, I'm not a great example right now. I'm not a great example, but I think, I've been doing this fucking 10 years. I've been training at least, maybe longer. That's bad. But anyway, I've definitely been doing it longer. I was training in 2013, actually, so that's 11 years at least. Fuck. And when you've been doing it as long as us, you can not get away with that more, but well, you can't get away with it more, but like you've got a better idea. You've got a better idea of eyeballing things and things like that. But it can still be inaccurate, can't it? It's so fucking
Yeah.
easy to like let things slip a little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like being asked to or not, it depends like what you're trying to achieve at the moment. Obviously, you're not getting on stage anytime soon, are you? But
No, no,
it's
that's it.
same for myself. I mean, I only like check in once a week with Josh, and to be fair, I used to like weigh myself every day to get a bit of a moving average after prep. And after a month, I was like, you know what, I just can't be fucking asked to weigh myself every day.
Yeah, yeah.
That,
My problem is it's cold, and I'm like, I just want to put clothes on as soon as possible once I get up. I get up, jump in the shower, and there's no excuse because I'm in there and and I'm fucking butt naked. I could be standing on the scales, but still, fuck it. But I find as well. See, when I'm doing like I like bulk sort of thing, a gaining phase. If I don't know if you're allowed to call it bulk nowadays, it's like that's like been cancelled.
oh, you can't use that word. Yeah,
Don't
that's
want to get
gone.
too fat. But like I think when I've dieted down, I've been lean, and I then go into a gainer phase. I think I get almost like a little bit not attached to it, but I'm like I don't want to gain too much fat, you know. And then if I'm weighing myself and if I'm tracking my calories and that, I think I'll actually hold back a little bit. Whereas when
Yeah.
I'm not, I'll not hold back the same. I'm not doing anything stupid either, but like I will just eat a little bit more without really consciously even realizing. So actually, I think it'll work better for me. Just obviously, you don't want to get too fat when you're gaining, but again, no one that's like really that big has ever fucking like they've all been through it, haven't they? Like anyone
Yeah.
that's big has been through a phase of being quite tubby, really.
You
So
need to put on a little bit of body fat. Well, you are going to put on a little bit of body fat in the off season. It's just inevitable. They say about these main gaining phase, which they have the place, especially for people who want to stay really, really lean year round, and it depends on their situation. But for majority of people, definitely get into an off season and grow because that's where you're gonna. You need the food, don't you, to grow?
yeah, you definitely do. But I'm actually going to a stag do in Benidorm at the beginning of March, so I'm like, fuck, should I tidy things up a wee bit? But this is where, like, although it's not the same as like a dieting phase, it's kind of where you get sidetracked a little bit because when you think about it, I stopped dieting must have been like August or September really. So that's like what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 months. It's all right amount of time, but it's not a great amount of time really. Like you've got to dedicate time to like a bulking phase to like build muscle. It takes fucking longer. So like to diet down again soon and do a lot of dieting would be kind of pointless unless it was just like 3, 4 week tidy up phase, which we'll see. But it's taken away from that goal, really, isn't it? It's slowing you down, and if you don't need to do it, if there's no need to pull back, then it is just taken away from it, isn't it?
That's it. I mean, I've got it all planned out for myself because I go away in July this year. So plan is to push up until like April, like
Yeah.
do like a holding maintenance phase in April, and then I've got May, June to get pretty much shredded. Well, not shredded, but lean.
I just
The holiday.
realized something, by the way. The guy whose stag do it is doesn't know where we're going, so I really hope he doesn't listen to this.
Oh shit! Fucking hell! You drop yourself in it there, aren't you? We're not
Yeah,
starting a podcast then.
I don't think he listens to this. I don't know. I'll find out now. I'll find out now if he listens to it. I don't know if any like my friends or like family or that listen to it, but I know a lot of clients in that do. So um,
Yeah,
but I'm sorry you were saying, James. I just got a bit distracted there.
yeah. No, I have now totally lost it. But
You
yeah,
were going to Mexico.
yeah, I'm going to Mexico again in July. So looking forward to that. Getting shredded for it. 8 week little cut. See how lean we can get, and then
Are you going over to see Ale Hormo?
well, LA Homo, that book is so fucking bad. Yeah, it was literally like copy and pasted or photocopied, and it was all sentences repeating itself in it. So, but yeah, I've been done over by it. It
You
says
must have bought a
printed by.
fake.
Yeah, I was like, I bought a fake off Amazon. I was like, what the actual fuck? But yeah,
So,
it's
like, go back to what we were originally talking about because we went from people dieting to people to bulking sort of thing there. But like, so your clients, for example, that stay the duration, if you may, if they don't get distracted, they don't be like fuck it, you know, the whole January effect where they give it a good few weeks and then just give up. What's the difference there? What's going on with them? And why, like, you know, if someone's listening to this and they've just started their own diet, why are your clients staying on track?
it's the
Whereas they're
it's the
not.
why. So they've got the goal. Like, the most important thing is to plan it out, seeing what do they want and why do they want it, and then what do they want? What's the time frame? When do they want it by? So once we've locked in the time frame, and then sitting there, right, they're going away on a holiday, then that's a why. They don't want to be a fat cunt on holiday, do they? So they want to, that's enough why. I'm being like, this is like being honest. So they don't want to be fat when they're on holiday. So that's good enough why in itself. And then you can anchor to that as soon as they start pulling off.
Do you
We
ask
need
those
to.
questions to clients? Do you like, this is your goal. Why is this your goal? Do you like, because
Yeah.
on my questionnaire, when I ask the question, it's just like, I want to lose fat. All right. Okay. Well, what does that look
Why?
like?
Exactly.
Yeah.
The question underneath it is why. It was like, say, what's your goal? Why? What's your goal? And then I see what their why is. When, to just get healthy. Yeah, but what does healthy mean to you? Why? Was like, do you want to make sure that you're not obese or have any health conditions? You want to live longer to like look after your kids and watch your kids grow up and they start getting really, really, you don't get deep, but get deep in there. See why, then you can always anchor to that and then refer back to it. As soon as they start slipping up, then you can use these things. Like I just said about the holiday there. If they start slipping up, they can say, oh, you don't really walking down the beach with a bit of a belly on you, do you? Something like that, within reason, depending who you're speaking to.
Yeah.
But just, it sounds like cuntish to say, but you need to use it. Literally use it.
Well, that's it.
You need to manipulate them to get them.
It's figuring out who's in front of you and like what they respond well to. Because like if you speak to like I suppose a bodybuilding prep client and you're like, why are you doing this? They're like, I just want to get stage lean, mate. Just want to be training.
Yeah, he said, why are you doing this? It's what I do. I was like, fair lifestyle, at the end of the day.
I mean, if you really go into that, there will be a why though. There will be something away deep inside. There's a reason that we're doing this shit. But like, I know I'm not that type of person. See, like goal setting and stuff like that. I fucking that doesn't interest me. I know what direction I'm heading in, and I'll just go for that. And I'm quite happy at that. But like, a lot of clients do like it, so I just try and figure out who's who. Like, do you really want to sit down and map out your goals and set short term and long term goals? Or some clients, it's just like, yeah, kind of want to get bigger, mate. It's like that's it.
To be fair, I still like mapping these things out, especially that buying phase. I say that when you get a client in that first 4 weeks, you want to make sure that they're seeing some sort of result quick, and you can find out if they're not seeing that result quick, then you can find out if they're a fucking shit client or not. So you need to.
You've got to stop calling them shit clients.
Yeah, well, no, I'm being honest because they are. If they're not if you're putting the work in and they're not getting to where they want to be, and you're doing everything within your power to like help them get to there, say you need to change a plan each week or each day or something like that to help it to make it easier for them to get to that result, and they're still not sticking to it, then that's on them. But
I think that's always a fear as a coach, though, because you're always like, when you do get clients that maybe don't play ball sort of thing, you're always a bit like, well, is it me? Is there something I've done? Could I have done better there? And that's where I always feel. And like, there's like, you've got to try and figure out where, okay, they've just not done anything I've asked, or could I have done something better? Because you've always got to kind of reflect back and look at you and be like, is there places where I can be better? But we end up doing that and we're just like, nah, we're fucking great, it couldn't be any better.
I do chase him up though. If there's anything going wrong, say I've not heard from him in a while, then I'm gonna message him or I can see like something's off.
I think you do the same thing as me because I've got a whiteboard right there in front of me. I can see everyone's names, and it just reminds you. It's like you're looking at it, you're like, oh, I wonder how he's getting on. I wonder how she's getting on. And then you'll send a text or whatever. And sometimes those messages in between the check-ins, you're like, holy shit, fuck, I messaged you. It's just some things come up sometimes. You're like, fuck. Yeah, I'm glad we didn't wait till the check-in for that. But yeah, no, it's like as long as you're doing everything within your power, I suppose that is the beauty of it. Remember we had him on, he talked about he'll just like phone his clients out of the blue and things like that. And that's something I've done a couple of times as well. It's just like, if I know them well enough, I don't want to do it at the start, probably scare them off a little bit, but like if I know them well enough, I'll just be like, what's crack? What's happening? Like one of my clients actually ignored me for about a week straight after like around just before Christmas sort of thing. And he'd fallen off a little bit before that. I phoned him like 5 times. I'm like, mate, you're not getting away from me. I'm like, answer the phone, let me know what the crack is. If you fucked up, you fucked up. We'll manage it from here. So yeah, it's you've just got to, I suppose, think about who's in front of you and how they're going to respond to it, don't you?
Yeah, exactly. It does depend like what they're going through. Say they're going through a hard time, but they need to be a bit open. They can literally just message us and say, look, I'm having a tough time at the moment, this, that, and the other. Then maybe we can say, is there anything we can do? Then maybe not. And then obviously maybe it gets better in time to see. But like you said, it just depends on who's in front of you and how you approach it. But
yeah, every podcast we do, it depends on this, it depends on that. But
it does. It's a situation dependent thing. But
See,
Yeah,
going back to the goal setting thing, I've been listening to a client actually sent me a podcast. It was Andrew Huberman and David
oh,
Goggins.
yeah,
Have you
class.
listened to it?
Yeah, no, I listened to Andrew Huberman a bit. He's decent.
Yeah, well, there's this one with David Goggins, and obviously everyone's kind of seen him, doing his motivational stuff and shouting and swearing and that. And I'm listening to this guy's podcast, and I just can't fucking take to him at all. Like David Goggins, he's like, oh, I had ADHD. It's really, really hard for me to learn, and everything in my life is a struggle. And it's like, mate, you're a multi-millionaire. Like, come on to fuck. Like, and the problem I find with that, like, what I don't like about it, is the fact that he makes everything out to be a struggle in it. Like, if it doesn't need to be fucking hard, don't make it any harder than it needs to be. Why make it fucking miserable? But he seems to like thrive on the miserableness of it. But I mean, I like the motivational stuff, and I like kind of how he comes across sometimes. But I was listening to that, I was like, mate, you're a fucking wanker. Like, this sounds fucking terrible. You're not selling this to anyone. And like, if you live a comfortable life, you've got a fucking roof over your head, you've got heating and shit like that. Why would you want to live an uncomfortable life within reason? Like, obviously, you want to teach yourself discipline and things like that, but within reason. But yeah, it's fucking. I can't take Tim at all. Like, he really triggered me.
Yeah, I've not really looked into him as much, but I know who he is, but yeah, he's not
What
really
about
appealing.
these ice baths as well? Like, I've been getting. I
Oh,
got I got
fucking
69 messages
hell.
yesterday for mentioning it on my stories.
69 messages.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Christ. Yeah, no. It's a trend. It's a fucking trend. I'm not a big fan of him. Just if you're wanting to gain muscle, then the last thing you want to do is have an ice
This
bath.
is what they all look like. They're just.
Yeah, exactly.
And then imagine coming out of it, you're like, fucking hell, I can't see my fucking cock.
Yeah. It's got back inside you.
That's me before the ice bath, man. I'm like that before it, and then after it's even worse. But yeah, like it is a trend. It definitely is. But like a lot of people I speak to about it, they rave about it. They say that they feel unbelievable after it, and they feel great after it. And like I like to put out controversial things. Just I'm just fucking reeling them in, really. But if you enjoy it, then fucking go for it. Like if you like it, then go for it. But
Yeah, that's
you don't need to film yourself and put it on Instagram though.
no, I know. Come on, mate. You're just trying to get with a trend. That's all it is. Everyone else on social media is doing it, so I need to fucking join in and show everyone that I am doing it.
But
Yeah, it's
it's hard to comment because I've not done it. Like, so I'm not sitting here saying, oh, I've done it and it's shit.
well,
I don't think it's shit. If you feel benefits from it, then great. Then keep doing it.
I've looked into the research. There is health benefits from it, but if your goal, and then most people who we work with, their goals to gain muscle, I wouldn't advise it, just because it stunts like muscle protein synthesis, and you want vasodilation. So having like a warm bath, that's fine, and that's good for recovery.
Pour
So
up my street.
yeah, just have a warm, relaxing, nice bath. It's going to reduce your stress. Um,
But
yeah,
again, you think it would make an appreciable difference on gaining muscle? Like, do you think it's really going to affect it that much?
it can hinder recovery. Well, it can hinder in terms of like growth. It can do that. Recovery wise, I don't think it's going to do too much recovery, but in terms of actually muscle growth, it can hinder that.
Hmm. Again, I've never tried it, so I don't know what to say. And I feel like it's something I should try now because I have shit talked it a little bit and just for a laugh, if nothing else. But I fucking I don't like being cold. Don't
Yeah, exactly.
like
That's
being
another
cold.
reason. So two reasons. I want to get big, and I don't like being cold, and I want to be nice and comfortable. So fuck.
What about people that go from the ice bath straight to the sauna? Or I don't know if it's that or the other way around, but that
Yeah,
sounds like
well,
asking for a heart attack.
yeah, they go. So they had like a cold shower at one of the gyms I used to work. So they had that, and then you went straight into that. And I went to what was it, Total Fitness as well. So they had a plunge pool, which was like fucking. It weren't even
Yeah.
that big. It was freezing water, and then the sauna and the steam room. They was right next to it. So you come out of there, and then you jump into that, and then get out and go into there again. Oh, it's fucking mad.
But I go back to the cold water like things where people sit in them. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the fact that it probably builds a lot of resilience. Like the fact that you are freezing cold and you want to get out, and it's like it's discipline at the end of the day. But yeah, I prefer to build discipline in different ways.
Yeah, that is fucking Crazy. Literally, just hold a piss in. You want to go to the toilet, but you can't hold it in. That's enough discipline.
Discipline. You've got wet pants
That's
now,
what.
but
And
discipline.
you're gonna feel really fucking uncomfortable, and it's gonna hurt after a while. So
You
these
want to be uncomfortable, do a fucking bodybuilding prep. That's fucking uncomfortable, isn't it?
that's it. The last month of bodybuilding prep is fucking disgusting. But
That's
yeah,
constant, like every single waking moment of it. And actually, the sleep pattern as well. So it's every
oh, it's
fucking
awful.
moment of your life for a month straight. It's not that it's going to be complete misery by any means, but you're going to feel it. You're going to know you're on a prep, like if
It
you've done it
hurts
right.
to move.
It's like walking upstairs and your legs feel heavy. Like that's
It's
not fun.
being
But
asked to do anything. So he was like, I got to go in the kitchen and fucking do something. I'm like, I can't be asked standing up. I'd rather just sit here. It's
but
it's hard.
also I feel like my mind's most disciplined at those times. So like
Yeah.
when I'm routined and I've been on a prep or whatever, by that point, like, I can fucking I'm at my most productive, I'm my most disciplined. So like in a sense that makes it easier almost. But yeah, it is like it's like for me, that's what taught me discipline was doing my first bodybuilding prep and being stuck on like a clean eating diet sort of thing. Like I think that taught real discipline to eat the same thing every single day for 20 weeks straight as a 19-year-old. I was like that, yeah, that kind of taught me quick.
Definitely. I actually can't wait to fucking start prep again. It sounds bad, but I do really fucking enjoy it. It's not this year anyway. So that's out the
I'm
window.
I'm funny because I've like kind of like fell out of love with it a little bit, and I do this like I do it for like years at a time, and then like obviously I'm spending time building muscle anyway, which is great, it's beneficial. And there'll probably come the point where I do end up wanting to fucking do it again, but then I'll end up hating it again for a wee while. But like it's when you like look in the mirror and you're like, fuck, I wonder what I look like shredded.
Yeah, exactly.
No,
It's like, I wish it would shredded, but I'm gonna feel like shit.
it's like I'm just going to spend the next 20 weeks to figure out the answer to that one question. What would I look
Yeah,
like shredded?
exactly. Yeah, fucking hell. But yeah, it's you had no like thought of somebody like that's gonna compete.
No, no, I've not got the fucking time for that at all. I'm doing good to be on this podcast this week.
It's fucking tight, especially when you open the gym, you're doing the challenge thing and then coaching
Yeah,
PT. That fucking there's always some.
it's been a lot at once, like I won't lie. But like the gym's quite easy. Like there's people in there now. It's running itself. I like to be there. I think it's like, it's good to have a face to the gym. I never really wanted it to be this faceless gym where you could just go in and let yourself in, but employing someone's probably going to be a pain in the cunt. So I'm avoiding that for now. So I've just got my wee keypad entry thing. So when I'm not there, the door's locked. The members got a keypad thing. They can let themselves in and do whatever they want within reason.
No, that's cool.
As long as they're not like, I don't know, fucking shit up. Just look at the
No,
cameras like someone's like dying under a barbell. I'm like, oh well.
I know. I'm insured for that. I'm fine.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like I seem to have a good group of members as well, which is good. There's clients, there's former clients, and then the people that maybe I didn't know before. They all seem to be great, and they all seem to be like very courteous and that as well. So yeah, it's all started really really well. So I'm buzzing with it, but it's one of those things like there's not been a gym in the town, but not a proper gym anyway. So I think people are just happy to have somewhere to train and not have to travel a 40-minute round trip to go to other gyms.
That's sick. No, it was good. Smashed it.
And how busy some of the gyms obviously are this month as well, which again that'll probably start tailing off. My
Oh,
place obviously we've only got like 63 members right now. We started 50, that was the plan, get 50, fill it up at 50, but it was actually still almost a bit too quiet at 50. So we've pushed it up now and we'll see where we're going to bring that to. But it's always going to be limited so that it's not too many people at once.
is it?
But one of my clients was in the gym group in Perth on Monday night, 93 people in there, and it's not a massive gym like.
At one time, shit, that's fucking chaos.
Yeah, but like so like Metcon, how many people would you get in there at once? Like what gyms are kind of
Oof, not even that many, In the
quite a
evening,
big spot though, Metcon. That's like it's a good area, I would say.
8,000 square foot. It's got like fucking hell, probably in the evening like 20, 30 maybe.
Yeah.
Like that's in between like 5 and 7, but then it tapers down to like 5, 10 from in between like 8 and 9. So it's quite quiet.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it's not like busy. So there's never more than fucking 20. I'd say literally in the gym area about 20 people max.
It's good that there's probably more than you realize, but like it's good that as well though, because it's like you don't want it to be overran. You don't want it to be like stupid and like people fucking fanning around. And like according to this client in that gym in Perth, there's like two of most machines. So there's two leg extensions, right? But if I'm training with you, apparently they're on both machines. They're taking both leg extensions. So it's like, what's the fucking point?
What? That's mad.
Yeah, yeah, but it's one of those things like you've got to strike the balance because as much as it'd be great to have thousands of members or whatever, you want people to be happy within the gym. You want a
Yeah,
good environment where they can actually train and get on stuff and not have to fight over stuff. So yeah, no, we've certainly got that for now. Like, and I don't think we'll ever get to the point where it's like overran with people. But if the opportunity came up to have a bigger spot, then that would change things.
yeah. No, that's
Take over.
cool. There's that King's Gym in Bury, which is really good. Again, it doesn't really get too rammed because I was in there like Friday. I know it's Friday, but 6 o'clock, and I thought it's going to be quite busy. Weren't too bad. Could get anything. And again, they've got so many pieces of kit in
It
there.
looks quite big as well, though, eh?
Yeah, it's quite big. It's getting even more kit in there, so it's a really good gym. That really enjoy
Yeah.
training there. Well. And it's
Yeah,
good.
I'll need to try it out sometime when I'm down there as well, actually. Just because obviously we always train at Metcon when I come down, but and Metcon's great to be honest. But my gym's like a mashup between inspiration from the Body Academy and Metcon. Like it's just like those two are my kind of bigger inspirations of for the kind of way I wanted it to be. So yeah, I think we're getting somewhere with that. And there's another wee gym as well in Bo'ness, what's it called? Rep Gym. It's a guy from that Physique Collective that's got it. And
Oh, cool.
it's tiny. It's like probably half the size of my gym. So it was good inspiration in the sense of like how much kit you can fit in one area. Because he's done really well with that in terms of the space he's got. He's got a lot of stuff in there. There's a lot of like Nautilus Nitro stuff as well. And they've got like that Cybex chest press that you guys have got the plate loaded one as well. So some really nice kit. But I text you about what happened on Friday, didn't I?
Oh, about that leg curl
That
where you
fucking leg
bought
curl,
it and
like
then you sold it.
some guy was selling this leg curl and he had it up. It was a Cybex. Is it Cybex Classic that I think, wasn't it?
It's
Um,
the VR2, I think, or VR1, VR1, VR2. It's
yeah,
one of those.
it was one of those anyway. But anyway, like he's selling it for 250 quid. It's dirt cheap, and I've got this like piece of shit hamstring curl that I just got just to do for the time being, and I thought I was going to replace it, and I arranged to meet the guy on Sunday. Like he sent me his address, his number, and that said I'd be down there at 10 a.m. And he texted me on Friday night. He's like, "Sorry, mate, it's gone." I don't even think he apologized. I think he just said it's gone. And I was like, "What the fuck?" I was like, "If you needed rid of it quick, you should have told me, and I could have tried to
Did he
sort
message you
stuff
back?
out." Yeah, they never messaged back. Total shout back.
What the fuck? Should have showed up at his house. You got your address.
It's like 2 hours away. It's down in the border, so it's like but might just put it out here on podcast if anyone wants to go smash up his place.
Yeah, that's it. What's the address again?
Yeah, I'm not condoning that. Not condoning that. But yeah, Akis, you'll know yourself. You've helped like you and Danny have obviously sourced a lot of kit before, so like you'll know what it's like dealing with people like that. So you've got to keep your eye on Facebook Marketplace because there is some fucking bargains that
Well,
come.
I'll just say this now. There is an Atlantis row, which they've got the same one on FLF, and it's very good. It's like 1,500 on Facebook Marketplace, and it is a very good piece of kit. It's plate loaded, unilateral,
Where is
chest
it?
support. It's very good.
Like,
It's near London. That's the only thing,
well,
but
I got a
it's
few pieces of kit from London. To be fair, I got
get them palleted up. Yeah, that's
yeah, well, I actually had someone pick it up, and fuck knows how it paid him to do it, but he done it anyway. So that was quite handy. But yeah, my only problem is space. So I sent you that pendulum I was thinking about getting, and then the chest press as well. I was kind of looking at that. I think I could fit them in, and then I might actually be limited in space already. It might just be a case of one in, one out sort of thing from that point. But yeah, that'd be pretty cool to be fair, the Atlantis row. But
it's a good piece because they've got it. They don't make it anymore, Atlantis, so they stopped making that actual machine, and they've still got it FLF, and it's a very good piece. It's one of my
it's
favorite.
getting that stuff imported as well, obviously, will cost a fortune. Because
Yeah.
it's all obviously made in the US. But I really like the pendulum. If I could get an Atlantis pendulum, I'd be
Oh
laughing.
yeah, that's my favorite pendulum, especially the brand new one. They've got the brand new one in FLF, and that's good. It's better than the what you call it, the Predator one. So the
Yeah,
Predator one feels a bit flimsy, but that Atlantis pendulum, the new one, fucking hell, it's next level. It just feels so sturdy and smooth.
yeah. You pay for that though, to be fair.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a very, very good machine. That.
Yeah, it's one of those things I think I need to remember as well. It's like I opened last week and I'm already thinking about all this shit. And it's like, I think I'm actually fortunate to open with what I opened with. Never mind fucking getting all these fancy pieces. But like in my head, like, so the gym's its own company and all the money from the memberships and that goes into the gym's bank account. And in my head, it's like, that is none of that is my money. That is the gym's money
Yeah.
to then get more stuff with. It's just like, some people would be drawing a wage out of it and be like, fucking yes, I've got this extra money every month. I'm just like, how can I get more kit?
Yeah,
It's brilliant though. It's like being a kid in a sweet shop.
that's class.
But yeah. So yeah, I don't know if we got any conclusions there with our people who start dieting sort of
Yeah. So in summary, don't be a melt if you are thinking of dieting. Just stick it out, and you got
trust the
well,
process. That says a lot.
yeah, stick to the process.
Yeah.
I was joking when I said that, but no, literally, want to what's the why? Why you actually diet in the first place? Are you in a good spot to? And what do you want to achieve? Like, what's the end result? Like, and by when?
Yeah. I would say adjust your expectations. Don't expect results too quickly. Especially if you're new to this, there's going to be a lot of like ups and downs in terms of learning. And with progress, don't expect it to be linear. Don't expect the scales to move straight away. Take multiple ways of checking your progress and, give it time to work. At least give it 12 weeks. If you're doing any less than 12 weeks and you're not doing that under the guidance of a coach who knows what they're doing, you're probably not going to see much results. Even sometimes with a coach, you're not going to see much results. I say to most clients that they're not going to see results until the 12-week stage. Obviously, I'm running that Elevate, which is an 8-week program. That is a fast fat loss program. So I went in harsh on these people. So yeah, that's that. So if you're really harsh, you will see results in 8 weeks. You can probably see results in 6 weeks sometimes if you're going harsh. But again, it depends on your starting point. So there's a lot to it. But like what I would say is expect it to take longer and do the work now and almost expect no return. Just be willing to do the work with no return, and then you won't be disappointed.
That's it. Exactly.
We'll wrap it up at that because that was a nice spot to wrap it up at.